Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CEVO TV for another installment of Pro League, Season number 9. I'm vansilli. Along with me, it is not Dustin or Dust Barrett. We do have Joey, Helium Umbrella. I don't even know your last name. How's it going, bud?
You're a scrub. I'm not the
You
only
know,
one here. I am the only other one on camera, but we've also got Ryu, Enemy's coach, joining
it was a
us
surprise.
tonight. It
but
was.
yes.
So how are you doing, Ryu?
Doing well, man. I'm a little sad. I have to cast a match that Kusa's playing in with a horse for a logo, but otherwise feeling pretty good.
Indeed. So, as you guys we have Rio tonight. He's going to be our color commentator for tonight. So we're going to have a three-man cast for this matchup. As you just mentioned, we are going to see Kusta play tonight with Team Liquid. So that is the matchup. Team Liquid versus Noble Esports for this best out of three. Those two guys that are actually new into CEVO for this season, it's actually a little bit different with the way we're working things out for this season. We actually have pretty much 4 brackets that will be happening throughout this season. Winner of each bracket, single elimination best out of 3, will actually guarantee a seed for the CEVO LAN Finals in London, England, at the Gfinity Arena. So actually, you guys, Ryu, played Bees Money Crew yesterday and won 2-0 quite easily. And you were actually there in that matchup at the same time. Can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of what happened yesterday?
In the match against Bees Money?
Yep.
Yeah, so for us, we were trying out a different fifth yesterday. We used Nifty. He was formerly with the Extra Astral Authority team in this bracket, and there's a rule that he can't play with those guys, so for those people that are curious. And so we used him as a tryout last night, and thought he did pretty well. It wasn't super challenging. I know on paper we were expected to kind of win. We got off to a little bit of a rough start, and they took a little too many rounds on our CT side of Mirage. But we ended up bringing it back, had a strong T side, and I think it was like a 16-6 or 16-7 maybe for Mirage. Went to Cash. I think Nifty was maybe a little bit nervous, trying out for a pro team for the first time. Seemed to really settle down for that second map. Played pretty good Counter-Strike. He might have actually top fragged in the server. I think he was close to hanging a 30. We force bought a couple times. We felt like we had the map. We had the map won. We just needed to close it out. So we kind of kept force buying a little bit. Where I think if we had saved, the map's final score would have been a little bit more lopsided, but closed that one out, I think 16-10. Felt pretty good overall. It's always weird when you're introducing a new player into the environment. We haven't practiced with them. Like that was literally like, hey, jump in our voice server and connect to the server and let's go. So it was a little bit puggier. The chemistry's not quite there, and it's not something we've really had to deal with, in a role as important as an op for quite some time.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Nifty actually dropped 28 kills on that second map on Cash with the AWP. I mean, he looks like he was a little bit more comfortable. Had 2 clutch rounds as well versus BMC on that map. What's it like actually losing Kusta? How much of a gap actually does Nifty have to do to fill that gap? Is it a huge gap? What is the impact with Kusta in the roster now that you've lost him?
So in terms of like his positioning and the impact on a round, it's not that difficult, I don't think, to replace Akusta in terms of CT side op. This is where you're going to be, hold an angle, hit the shot, right? That's a fairly easy thing, I think, for most ops to be replaced with somebody else that's a talented opper to handle. With Kusta, it's really the other things that are rounds that we feel like we shouldn't win, that he hits a couple ridiculous shots and he brings back, and he turns the tide of a match with some of those types of plays. He's also a tremendous rifler, and I think people still don't realize just how good his rifle is. So, on some of these other teams, there are guys that 80% of their frags come from the op, and there's a huge drop-off, to that second-tier weapon. Sometimes, I think for JDM, I think his second-tier weapon was a P250, the second weapon he frags with. So, he was a really good hybrid that was a primary op. And those mid to late round plays that Kusta was capable of making, that's the biggest impact I think that we'll notice is gone. And, if it's Nifty, if it's somebody else, that's the biggest difference, I would say, the delta between Kusta and whoever our new fifth ends up being.
What's the mentality in the camp, since you're obviously still playing with Kusta in the minor? How does everyone feel about that move? Does anyone feel betrayed, or do they kind of realize the opportunity presented itself and they're still going to play the best that they can at this upcoming, sorry, I said minor, but the offline major qualifier?
Yeah, so we're not sure if we're going to use Kusta or not. There's some restrictions in terms of.
Oh, so you can still use someone else, but he just can't play for another team because he was already out of LAN.
Right. Yeah. So it's a weird spot to be in, right, for both us and for Kenny, for Kusta. He can't play with Liquid because he played with us, right? So even if they make a major, he won't be able to participate, which is a big downer. If we don't play with Kusta, he can't play with us, period, because whoever you compete with at the qualifier, it's 5 out of 5 players. That same lineup has to compete at the major. There's no like swapping a player. And if we were to use Kusta there, we would be taking out of the time he would be practicing with Liquid, right, as we prepare before we fly out next week. And then if they make the major, we make the major, there's a chance that Kusta would be competing against his new team, which would be a very difficult situation to deal with. And then legally, there's generally a non-compete provision in the contracts that say if you're going to sign a contract and play with this team, you can't play with another team. And not only would he be playing with another team, there's a chance he would play the team Liquid that he would be signing with. So it's just a very bizarre set of circumstances. And nobody's got ill will. We recognize the opportunity that he has, and we're super proud and happy of what we accomplished with him on our team. And we're going to try to make some tough decisions in the next couple of days with our contracts with Enemy expire. We need a new fifth. We've got this qualifier coming up. So there's a lot going on for us right now.
Should sign
And
vansilli.
just what's that?
I said you should sign vansilli.
Yeah.
I've seen him
on
op.
the list, right?
I'm a pretty decent opper. I'm another Asian. I mean, I'm maybe 3 times the weight of Kenny, but it's heavy enough to carry other people, right? I think that qualifies.
I mean, heavyweight fighters tend to, output more power than the flyweight fighters do, right? So
Exactly. More resilient too. Nonetheless, though, let's not actually sidetrack here. I'd love to talk some more actually about this Kusta switch and how Enemy's going to be moving on forward into major qualifiers in the group play. But we actually do have a best out of 3 to cast tonight, and actually try to find a little bit more information here. Noble Esports versus Team Liquid. We already see the veto process. So looks like Noble Esports had the first choice to veto. So they vetoed Cobble. Liquid vetoed Inferno. And then Noble actually chooses Cash, and Team Liquid chooses Dust 2. So let's start things off here with you, Helium. What do you think about the veto process right now? And then we could chime in with Ryu as well.
Well, from Team Liquid's point of view, nothing is very surprising. They always take out either Inferno or Train. They get a little unlucky since Train pops up in the third map, but it is Team Liquid versus Noble. We might not need the third map. I know less about exactly what Noble is banning, especially since they've the ex-Leader 1 lineup that we saw at the minor, more or less. But they pick Cash. That's Team Liquid's pretty much their proving grounds. They love that map. It's their #1 pick, so Team Liquid's got to be feeling good about that and able to get that secondary pick in as Dust 2, one of their other most played maps right now. It's going to be certainly an NA match with Cash and Dust 2, and I think that favors Liquid very heavily. I would be quite interested actually to see Train, though, if we got to the third map.
Yeah, what do you think here, Ryu? First map being Cash here, chosen by Noble Esports.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to end up being a 2-0. Just looking at the two teams on paper, just the talent level that Liquid's bringing is a bit overwhelming. I do know that Noble love Dust 2, so I think that they probably feel like if there's ever a chance for them to upset a Team Liquid, this is probably a good pull of maps for them. And then on Train, I think Liquid, when we were scrimming them prior to them picking up Kusta, Simple would just run around, and they really worked off his op, and his op was really, really strong on that map. Now you add in the fact that they could double up with Kusta. I think if it goes to Train, it'll be a blowout for Team Liquid.
What are your thoughts, vansilli?
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested to see, actually, now that Adren is out of the roster, putting Kusta in. We've kind of looked at stats already. We've noticed how Liquid has actually significantly improved in terms of adding Kusta and dropping Adren at the same time, though. We mentioned it yesterday in the broadcast that there's still a lot of readjustments to be done with Liquid as well. Dust mentioned it, where Simple's coming into the role. He's going to be more of a rifle role as well. It's the communication, how they want to play their positioning as well. What type of in-game leader and coach that you actually need for Team Liquid. And I want to know your thoughts, actually, Ryu, as we're talking about this. A lot of I guess, banter goes on Reddit, on Twitter, trying to figure out if Liquid really has what it takes in terms of an in-game leader, a leader himself for actually the team, and even a coach that's feasible to bring Liquid a lot further than they are now.
Yeah, I think so. What they're doing now is a hybrid of in-game leadership between GB James and Nitro, which I think most people weren't aware of. Everyone thought it was. I thought that it was going to be GB James. We were on the Richard Lewis show the other day, and Moses said he was pretty confident Hiko would call, because Hiko had called one of the offline events that he had been at sometime in 2015. It's actually Nitro, and apparently he's doing a pretty good job of it. I guess they kind of work off each other. So I would say similar to how myself, and Mainline work, where Mainline is our in-game leader, but then I'll add commentary if there's something I want to run, or if he calls something that I don't like for the situation that we're in. And I think that Nitro and GB James are doing that now for in-game leadership. In terms of who's actually the kind of stand-apart leader of that team, I'm not sure. I think the personalities on that team are pretty similar. No real like super outspoken people aside from Simple, and obviously being the new guy, he's not going to be the one that's going to fly in the liquid flag as a leader. So that's something I'm curious to see how it shapes up as this roster kind of mends together over the next 6 to 12 months.
For sure, and I was actually watching the video that Thorne actually made. I know it's gonna add up a little bit of drama, but he was talking a little bit about the attitude/bullying of Freakazoid. But I don't want to actually touch that topic. He touched the topic more about the leadership role. So he was saying how you have different types of leaders. You had Deshaun Garris that was actually going to be the strat caller for the team, and while he's gone, there's not really anybody that brings up the morale for the team. So you bring in somebody like Freakazoid that actually brings that mental morale, and that actually hypes up the players, hypes up the team for them to be able to perform, and so that people just don't get demoralized when they're actually starting losing round after round, at least for Cloud9. Do you think that this is the same type of mentality you want to see in terms of your roster with Enemy, and in terms of what Liquid is actually needing as well in terms of leadership? Not only a strat caller, but more of a mentality role in terms of a leader.
Well, on Enemy, we're a little different. We actually don't want huge emotional spikes, either positive or negative. We want to be pretty level-headed because you just have generally you have a better result, better performance, and it's more consistent. If you need someone to hype you up before every single map, eventually that kind of magic wears off. And the same thing on the opposite side. If you get in your own head or you tilt really easily, your performance in the game is generally really, really poor. So on Enemy, we're almost emotionless. There's definitely a couple guys that tend to have a little bit more emotions than others, but we try to keep that as limited as possible. I wouldn't say that our leadership in any way represents a personality like Freakazoid's. For Liquid, I have a feeling they're all pretty much the same. If I had to pick a guy on that team that would be maybe more emotional than others, I would say Elige, just as a little bit younger. But if you watch Nitro play, knowing Kusta, if you watch Hiko play, they're all very even keel. Simple, I think, is the big question mark in terms of, is he going to go on tilt? Is he going to keep his head in the game? But I know Elige in the past had been a little bit emotional when it came to more so the negative, I think, going on tilt.
Actually, I do remember seeing, I forgot which event it was, but when they actually started representing NA, and winning some matches versus the European teams, and he was like, look at me now, I could actually frag now. All this pressure that he actually had on his shoulders to actually try to perform quite well finally has been proven with the way that he's been playing on LAN. So I guess from that confidence, you're starting to see hopefully Elige have that same type of mentality as the previous players that you've mentioned. But let's look at the roster. You actually have that pulled up here, Joey, if you want to talk about it a little bit. We have Liquid up right now. In terms of what we have as a roster for tonight.
All right, well, first thing I will say, it's saying that it's stats from Season 9 Pro League. It's not. This is like Season 7 and Season 8 lands and preseasons and just regular season. Just to get some stats up, because obviously they don't have any yet. They didn't play in the placements for Season 9, and this is their first match of Season 9. So kind of just a general overview. You can see Nitro's got most of the stars. Hiko with a pretty good KDR, and of course Hiko in our last season pulled off some amazing plays. He's a capable player. He's one of the more veteran players, someone who, like, it's nice that Hiko's on this team, and also James just being older so they can provide some guidance to Kusta, Simple, and Elige, right? It's like a couple old guys and these three young guns. It's pretty crazy. Contrasted to another recent pickup in NA like Stewie 2K going to Cloud9, and they're kind of just letting him do whatever he wants. Like, I don't know if anyone's really guiding him and developing that potential. And then let's see how this lines up with the data that I've got pulled from HLTV. Let's see, Simple, of course, that's going to be player data from, when he was jumping around on teams, and of course his time on... Actually, he wouldn't have his time on Flipside. That's way too long ago. But he is a standout player on paper, along with also Kusta. So it'll be fun to watch them play tonight.
Yeah, and as we're actually in the server waiting for about 4 more players to ready up, so we still have a little bit more time to kill. So I want to get back on this topic before when you were talking about how things are actually going to be played in group play for Liquid. How are they not going to use Kusta? Who are you guys going to use at the same time, Ryu? And I don't know if you've noticed, but also on HLTV, as you mentioned it, Joey, as well. Well, if you guys are looking at that webpage now, they actually announced that Mo will be the one standing in for Kusta for Team Liquid in the group plays happening next weekend.
Yeah, and he had stood in for them before, so I think it's not too surprising. You know, he had actually Mo had actually reached out to me when he saw that Kusta was going to be leaving our team and said, you know, if you guys need somebody to stand in, I'm ready. You know, like
Mo just wants to go to lands.
Yeah, he wants Mo stickers, right? He wants Mo stickers in the game for sure. And you know, instead of doing a signature, he might just draw his logo. You know, like a picture of the silhouette of the beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he messaged me, and then later on messaged me like, hey, yeah, Liquid just messaged me. You know, do you guys have an idea of who you're gonna use? And I was like, I really don't know, dude. So yeah, I think he had his bags packed. I think he's got a spare mouse loaded up. Like he's just ready to drive to the airport. And now that he'll be playing with them, it'll be interesting to see. When he played with them the last time, he actually played pretty well.
Yeah, he carried the team.
He was a last-minute addition. Really, not really much practicing happening for Liquid. It was pretty much plug style for Mo, and he did indeed actually get a few clutches at the same time, and that was against a French team, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was it Envy? Yeah.
Yep. They lost 0-2, and one map was close, one wasn't. But Mo did most of the heavy lifting. I believe it was Mo and Fugly that did quite a bit of that. So I mean, I think it'll work out. Mo seems pretty motivated right now.
The puns are already starting. We haven't
even started
the first map, and the puns are starting already. Imagine at the third map, if it's actually going to go to a third map. But as Rio says, Team Liquid versus Noble Esports tonight, looking to be possibly a 2-0. As we notice on paper right now. Actually, we only have 9 in the server, so waiting on the 10 to come in. And he's finally come in. We'll see and wait for the ready up. But as we're looking at this last one, let's start the rumor mill here, Ryu, because yesterday a lot of people in the chat were saying, okay, we saw Nifty play pretty good starting on the second map on Cash. We tried to have a little bit of a discussion with Dust. I know you were tuned in at the same time. We said, what about Whitmer? And then you said there's no way we're going to be looking into Whitmer right now. So
no. So what you guys said is that we could possibly pick up a Dren, and I said,
ew, I never said that.
We would not be picking up a Dren. Damn, that was violent there, Vince. And it's
probably said
nothing
that.
against a Dren. Whitmer is a player that's on our list. I've been pretty public with this.
Okay.
You know, like we've got a short list of people that we're going to be trying out. We have very specific characteristics beyond just the skill of the player that we're looking for. You know, we do things, again, a little bit differently than I think most of the other NA teams.
They got to look good in red.
Whitmer is one of the people that are on that list. I told him that, you know, he's on the list, that I might reach out for a tryout, but I'm not promising him anything. You know, I'm not even promising him a tryout. I just wanted him to know that there's a good chance that I'm going to shoot him a note and say, hey, I need you to scrim and to be ready. So.
How crazy would it be, actually, to have Whitmer come in and his first match as a tryout is going to be in the group play for the major? The major qualifier.
It would be pretty crazy. You know, we've got some matches. So obviously the different leagues have different rules for the roster transactions and stuff. For this bracket for CEVO, there's unlimited amount of transactions, but you know, it's once a player plays on one team in the bracket, they can't play for another. So we've got to kind of navigate around all that. I think all the players just readied up. So
that's right.
If you want to take it away.
Sure. Thank you very much. Let's start actually the first map. Team Liquid versus Noble Esports right here on CEVO TV with myself, vansilli, Helium Umbrella, and our guest caster, color commentator, Ryu, coach of Enemy. Thank you guys for tuning in. And let's start the first map here on Cash. It's going to be Liquid starting off on the CT side. Composed of Simple, Elige, Hiko, Nitro, and Kusta. And for Noble Esports, we got Ye, Virtus, Flashstep, Josh BM, and Char. And Joey, please kick us off.
All right, well, Char's going to make first contact. Flash goes in. Elige peeking into A main. Takes out one. Virtus takes out another. He's doing Team Liquid's work right now. He brings down Char, maybe blind and just firing his Glock away. Josh, though, nice shot onto Elige. That'll open up and allow the bomb to go down. Virtus planning in default. Flash Step's going to step his way over into A main. That's now just going to get smoked off as Simple's moving up to the forklift along with Kusta. Ooh. That's Nitro and Hiko going in the site. Flash Step jumps out only to be obliterated. And now it's Virtus. 1 versus 3. He dies.
Yeah, it looked like it's just going to be a set ace execute. Elige kind of jammed that up early. There's a little bit of a pop flash peek. He spotted a lot of players They actually threw a couple smokes, I think, over the top, but the Liege got one, and the blind T, I think, just spammed the Glock and took out a teammate, and that was immediately a 5v3. It's a pretty easy round for Liquid to clean up.
All right, so Noble Esports looking at it. They do have the plan in the pistol round. At least only one kill, though, on their side. So they're just going to opt for P250s in the second round all across the board for Ye up to Char. As they're just going to try to lurk here at mid side. Maybe take control of B, get another bomb plant, and then hopefully go for more with AK-47s. Although they could still buy on the next round if they want to. So if you're looking at that minimap, we had Flash up at T-Spawn, trying to sell a little bit of a fake to start things off, but the rest of them are now actually grouping up with the team, and they're going to get ready to move inside a B, but there's also still Hiko waiting around the corner right in front of that vent, and they're slowly walking in here.
Yeah, Hiko still playing a close angle, maybe some danger. He gets taken out by a P250. Now he'll back away, and no armor on Noble because, of course, they got the plant down. They don't want to spend the extra money, and Hiko might just rip them apart. Simple's going to move out actually into the open, but it won't matter. It is it's raining bullets over there in B main.
Yeah, you saw one of those things. It's a small detail, but Simple's playing a pretty safe angle, holding that headshot angle, waiting for the cross. Sees a bunch of people pop up on radar from Hiko's POV, and instead of being patient and trying to kill them on the cross, literally ran into the open to chase some of those frags. That's the type of thing that a really good team will punish. Obviously, on a round with just P250s, not too much Noble could have done there.
So we will see Ye. Nice spawn, actually. He's going to spot Kusta. Kusta's down to 50 HP already. They're actually going to push out and get the first casualty. As Kusta actually got caught with the nade in his hands, trying to fall back from a flash. But Elish actually pushes through the blue door and gets the headshot into Virtus. And not only that, but also drops the bomb carrier. Elish, Char makes it up with Josh BM. They are moving up the highway side. They are clearing off the site. You still have Elish hiding inside the blue door area, though. So it's going to be a close range battle very soon. Pushing all the way towards the truck side, but Simple is smarter than that, waiting towards the CT spawn. Now a nice flick there from Char to take down Elish, but it's a 2 versus 3. Full gun round coming in for Noble Esports. Of course, they salvage the bomb, come back inside this A bomb site, and they're actually going to try to get the bomb plant coming through right now. And the Simple actually not even afraid. Out in the open, even reloads out in the open. At least he was able to damage Flash Step down to 11 HP. Bomb is now planted, post positioning, but they are bringing fights 1 versus 1. So this is going to be obvious that Flash Step is also at A main. Hiko is just going to go for that fake, actually. So he goes for the smoke, the white peak, and he gets the kill. Easy as that. And the defuse comes in. Liquid's going to make it now 3-0.
Just Hiko doing Hiko things. Really nice round for Char. Got a couple really nice headshot kills. He actually was able to take down Elish with an ump. It looks like Elish may have missed a couple shots there. Looked like there was a chance they were going to win it, and I actually liked that they got aggressive. If you notice a lot of these clutches that Hiko has, the team on the other team tends to give him a lot of time and a lot of space, and he gets to work things quite a bit methodically, and forcing the issue, I think, is a way to shut those down. Unfortunately, that first player wasn't able to finish the job.
All right, so now we got our camera operator squared away, so that'll be later taking control of that. And I mean, good job in that last round by Char to open up the A site, but it wasn't enough. You saw both those guys pretty low, and it was Hiko, the last man up. You kind of just figured he might clutch that out because Simple did a lot of damage. He got a couple kills, dinked that last player, then ran out of ammo in the open. As this one's going to start a bit slower, obviously Noble, less to spend, but it seems like a bit of a force buy. Some utility. Players waiting up on boost. Could be a delayed mid-A split, but actually no one's really around A. Someone's doing the dance over at B. That's going to be Char. He's actually all the way into checker, but both Simple and Hiko. Hiko actually having a friend in the B site. What is this?
Well, they always play both of them together inside B. They're actually able to take down Char. They actually had a setup actually to boost towards that mid if they wanted to and flash out, but looks like after Char made it towards checkers, he was trying to get an opening frag to let the guys come back in, but now that he dies, he still decided to come in inside B. Hiko's waiting in the back of the site, and they just drop like flies. Last one spotted, Josh BM gets at least a kill onto Nitro at mid, completely flashed, and also almost takes down the Elish, but Elish capitalizes back, wins that fight, and it's going to be 4-0, but that was Noble with a save, and we'll see the gun round coming through.
Yeah, I think almost every round so far we've seen a 2-1-2. So we've seen Hiko and Simple maybe expanding upon the friendship they started at a LAN some time ago.
Yeah.
They seem to be 2-1-2, and I think we'll probably see it again.
Yeah, or maybe the 2-on-2 is just kind of a pistol and anti-eco mindset that they have, or it could be the friendship, you know. Teamwork makes the dream work. As now the ops are out. Virtus with his, obviously he had some fantastic performances at the North America Minors. See if he can, oh, there he goes. He starts off with a kill onto Elish, and it will be Kusta with the op. Simple, of course, pretty good with rifles himself. I wonder if they'll ever run into a double op setup tonight on any of the maps.
Yeah, so far it's just going to be Kusa with the AWP. Yes, indeed, maybe you could see Simple with it so far, but they're winning 4-0. They're building up the economy. They don't really have a need to do a double op setup yet because Hiko and Simple have been holding that B bomb site quite well with just rifles, and they never really had the advantage or the opportunity to upgrade to anything else should they lose any guns. So the 5 versus 4, they're capitalizing back towards this towards T spawn for the terrorist team of Noble Esports. They're gonna get ready to set up and let Virtus move in. He's trying to bring that fight against Kusta, but Kusta actually fell all the way back towards quad side. So mid is actually fully open, and as they lost the leash to start things off, they're going back to a 2-2 setup, both at A and B for Team Liquid. But they're breaking on the vents, and they're going to attempt to go inside B again. So Hiko and Simple, can you hold it again for pretty much the 11,000th time?
Yeah, right?
Nope,
Well,
not yet.
Virtus starting off 2 kills on this round, but look at Simple with his AK spray down, finding 2 nearly a third, now pulling out the Tech 9. No luck with that. Noble able to take over the B site, and flashed up wall plant here by the single box. That's a plant for Checker, and sort of B main, as they just have to hold on. Only Nitro and Kusta on this retake. Both have kits. There's 1 flash. And you are retaking with the op. Maybe Kusta can start us off. He's going to be spotted as he does drop that pop flash out of upper Nitro. There you go, 2-on-2. Still having some time right now behind the wood box. Beautiful shot from Kusta. He legs him up, pull out that P250, and he gets it. Kusta with a 2K. Great shot by Nitro as well. And the retake here from Team Liquid, really strong.
Ryu, tell me that makes you happy.
And a little sad.
It's gotta be bitter. That's bittersweet, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's just Kusta being a monster. He actually hit the guy in the back box through the corner of the box,
Yeah.
and then I think he actually thought he killed the guy default first because he actually hit him, and then he dropped down with his knife out like, oh, I didn't kill that guy, and then it was like, all right, well let me just pistol him, no big deal. It was interesting in that round at the B site. Hiko was actually the one wide peeking that got picked off by Virtus, and then Simple brought that back. Really good recoil control, was able to take those kills down.
Yeah, they played double actually at the default spot, so that was kind of strange. So Hiko wide peeked out, tried to play the bait at the same time, hoping to survive on a cross towards that backside, but to no avail. Virtus was just a little bit quicker, and that's actually somebody else that not a lot of people talk about, and we saw him kind of shine towards that minor where Virtus just went crazy with the AWP
With
on
35
maps like Dust
kills
2.
on Dust 2, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually the next map as well. So I mean, it's going to be an interesting battle between or this series between these two teams. But looking at it so far, full gun round coming in for Noble Esports after they get the bomb plant and the bonus money. They're executing towards this A-bomb site. They're mulling out towards the area as well. Nitro's inside the site with one of his teammates. That's Elige. He's the first one to die, courtesy of Flash Step. And Nitro right after. But Hiko trying to capitalize it back, even it up, waiting for his teammates to rotate back as well. Kusa does have the out bomb, is now planted. And the T's are set up. 2 at quad. 1 at main, watching the flank, and 1 at forklift.
Another retake opportunity for Liquid. If they get this one done, I think that's going to be incredible. And Noble Esports might have to go back to the drawing board on their post plants. Josh BM still alive here in the forklift. Now he brings down Hiko. They're lining up for him. Runs out of ammo. Kusta on 14. And yeah, EA able to finish that one off no problem. Actually, everyone survives on the post plant, so Noble do a great job there. Team Liquid did not have all that much utility to go in for the retake.
Yeah, and that was another 2-1-2 that we've seen them do basically every round, including all the gun rounds so far. I thought they were actually going to lock that down. Looks like we're going to see a double off come out, so we might see them switch to a 1-3-1 with the offs and sights. And it's actually interesting to point out, Noble's been getting almost all of these entries. They've had a hard time locking it down after mid-round and late round, but they're getting a lot of these early picks. So they're not too far out of this.
That's what I'm talking about. As soon as they have the opportunity to finally upgrade to AWPs, you will see that double up set up because they never really had to towards B. They always salvage those M4 or those M4s or AK-47s for Simple in Hiko outside there. But this time the force buy comes through as Nitro and Hiko are playing close towards this mid side, both with 5.7s. That double off setup so far, Simple is heavily damaged, down to 8 HP, forced to fall back towards the checkered area. Towards that B side as it was charged, trying to lurk around and try to get some entries going on there. But at least forces him to fall back and forces also Hiko to play more of that rotate inside that vent. And look at that, Kusa's out in the open! Out in the open, and he burns down from Ye's molly right after. So that is actually unorthodox. You would not expect Kusa to do those kinds of things, but nonetheless, Nitro is still alive here with that 5-7 inside the site. We still haven't yet committed inside A because we have rotated back towards B. Josh BM gets the kill onto Simple, who rotated towards Z, and Chari is lurking back towards the entrance. Still, though, they're still getting kills towards this A bomb site. Finally, we might get the first casualty on the T side. No. Actually, FlashStep does get some support from Josh BM. Hiko is now going to be the last man standing against a full-man roster of Noble Esports. Bomb is now going to get planted, and Hiko is still going to try to get some kills here.
Yep, going in for it with the op, but it's going to be tough. 1 versus 5. Now he's getting pushed around on all sides. He's able to pick up the op, of course. He did just start this round with that 5-7 and those flashes, playing from vents now. He'll bring down Josh BM, Noble. They know that Team Liquid bought up a lot onto this round, putting in double ops when you also had double 5-7s. So Liquid, their money is going to be in a very bad spot.
Yeah, Kusa playing. I've seen him play a lot on top of red, and he usually gets the pick if he plays quad or that lamp. It's like he dodged that flashbang, missed a shot, and then took damage falling.
He turned from a smoke, I'm
in
pretty
a lake
sure.
of fire.
Yep. Yeah, it was a smoke for truck side too.
Yep. And again, we saw. I mean, Noble's gotten entries maybe almost every round except for pistol, and they kind of got one there, but it was a teammate that they killed, so I don't know if that counts.
Well, the eco's coming through for Team Liquid, possibly a double eco from the economy that we saw there on that buy round, on that freeze time. Ye gets the opener onto Kusta already. As we're waiting for Simple, Leash, Hiko, and Nitro. A 3-man stack inside the A-bomb site. Simple still playing B by himself, but Ye's waiting for him there. Spots him, but decides to fall back. Meanwhile, we are opening up towards A. Josh BM actually moves up towards that highway, gets the headshot onto Nitro at quad, but doesn't know that Elige and Hiko are also still hidden inside this site. So I'll actually go for White Peak now. They line them up at the same time. Josh BM gets both of those kills, and especially with the communication, Ye knows that Simple was playing inside B, so that's an open A bomb site for our plant.
Simple just trying to get a kill at this point. Still hiding out there. A little lobby for the B site.
He's got the knives out. I'm liking this.
Yeah, he had the shadow daggers, right? The fade or something.
Yeah.
I'll switch to him. Oh, pulled out the P250.
Well, that bomb is going to go out, and smart move right now, actually, for Noble Esports. They know that it's going to save right now for Team Liquid, so they don't necessarily go for that hunt. They're actually trying to move out as a team. They actually spot Simple at the same time.
Dinked him.
Yeah, long range there from CT spawn. Josh BM survives at 4 HP, but at least gets a 4K. But it's going to be 5-3, and things are looking a little bit better now for Noble Esports. We're starting to see a game here on Cash.
Yep,
Yeah.
their economy's looking really strong. I think we're going to see a glass cannon op. So this is going to be another low buy or another buy to almost zero for Liquid.
Yeah, I was wondering if Liquid was just going to go for armor upgraded pistols, kind of even out the money, and then get enough of that losing bonus. But now they're actually in a position completely buying here that if they lose this, Noble might be able to, well, they'll definitely tie it up. They could maybe even take the lead. As Char, he's been aggressive here from Sunroom and from this B main area. Now Hiko is going to take control along with Nitro. Nitro gets spotted, though.
Yeah, actually they went for a double aggro, and Nitro's down to 19 HP. That Molly, yeah, look for some cover there. So he of course gives his position away, but he actually don't know that Simple's playing towards that checkers at the same time. So the first kill from Char, retaliated back by Kusta at mid. Char pushes in towards that sunroom area as well, gets the headshot onto Hiko, but then it's retaliated back by Simple. So it's back to a 3 versus 3. A side is now open, played very passively by Elige, at the truck side. At the same time, so Noble Esports have to execute a little bit quicker than they are right now. They are setting up for a smoke towards the truck site to just cross inside this A-bomb site. They are mulling out towards quad before that, so that is actually a lot of information given away. A little bit of love tabs going on through the smoke, but FlashStep and Josh BM still moves healthily inside that site. FlashStep kills on to Simple as he tries to go for the wide peak, and Elise just pushes through. Actually denies the bomb plant, at least for now. It's a 2 versus 1, but there's 35 seconds left on the clock, so still plenty of time right now for Noble Esports to plant for main. Josh BM looking back towards this highway side, spots Kusta, but Kusta sees him first, puts him in his crosshair, and drops him. So it's a 1 versus 1, Opera versus Opera. Nothing more that he could ask for in this clutch situation. Is it going to be Virtus, or is it going to be Kusta? Who's going to step up right now? And Kusta knows exactly where Virtus is at. He's going for that little play from Swag with the pistol drop. Both up shot missed, but he doesn't have a pistol to switch back to. And as he comes back in, Virtus gets the kill, and it's going to be 5-4. And like you said, possibly a 5-5 here, Joey.
Yeah,
I think I don't know if they're gonna force armor here and maybe pistol up because they're on the max bonus. I just want to say for the record, I think enemy Kusta wins that round. Feels bad, man.
Well, his USP pop fake flash actually hit the opening, the top of the doorway there, so it didn't even go through. And then, as vansilli even commented, didn't have the pistol to pull out. So it's kind of, I mean, the glass cannon op.
An NA fake flash? I don't know.
Yeah,
NA fake flash, yeah. Chat's
Kappa
going to
face.
love that. As Simple with the deagle. Actually, Simple also having Kevlar and a helmet. Does get the first kill. Here's Char to strike back. Hiko will fall, and now Nitro getting another one. So not really even that much of a force buy from Liquid, just some upgraded pistols, and it started to get kind of scary for Noble. Maybe they won't find that 5-5.
Well, let's see. Yeah, they do have that 1 minute advantage to do salvage an AK-47. They go for that boost to even things up, so they take control of that mid side for now. But they also have split out the defense on the CT side, though. Elish is just around the corner with a deagle up on Cat. Nice flash, actually, there from Flash Step to move through. They spot Simple at truck side as well, but Nitro's just at Z. He spots them both. He whiffs the first, gets the first kill, and spray comes across. Great control. Second kill, third one now spotted, gets the headshot as well. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, what? Yes, indeed, an Eco Cobra hiss.
I like the claps.
I like how Nitro wins that 1v3 like it's the easiest thing ever, and then just pauses.
Yeah.
Just stop, pause. Like, yep, sorry guys, I need to celebrate real quick. I'm gonna have a sip of this insert sponsored beer name here.
Or he needs to breathe.
He obviously ripped his shirt off in celebration and needs to go put another one on.
Yeah, put on another horse.
Yeah, you literally ripped the horse in half. I think that's what happened.
Did they actually give a reason for the pause?
No, he just, no, Josh. What is happening? I would love it if he's like, "Be right back, sipping the beer," but he didn't say it, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
Double ops come back out too.
GB James crashed. There you go.
This is going to be a double op round from Team Liquid. The last time they did this, it was they really forced up. They didn't have enough money across everyone. 2 people were left on only pistol and armor, but this time it'll be all rifles. And let's see how it works out for Simple and Kusta. Because Simple started off over in B with his op, peeking checker aggressively. Char got him down to 8 HP at the start of that round, so he was low. Kusta turned from a smoke and then got shot and fell into fire. So neither of the ops were able to do anything the first time they did this.
I assume that we're going to see ops and sights and then a 1-3-1 again.
Yeah, looking more for that focus inside that mid control. And we've seen Hiko and Nitro actually play that together when they had the 5-7s on that force buy that they had. So we'll see if they do the same thing in this round. And indeed, you see actually 3 guys moving towards mid to start things off. And they're actually already going for an early boost up at that box. Hiko's playing close towards the garage side. We do have one guy playing towards sandbags. You do have Nitro as well towards the headshot of Highway. So Virtus is looking to see if anybody's going to peek out towards Z, but again, nobody's going to be spotted there. Kusa is actually playing it very passively with a knock from truck side instead of playing on the top of quad, where he actually kind of did in the past few rounds when he was opping before. While you do have Simple at the default spot there just by the checker side, watching outside B. And as they see that everything's clear so far at mid side, they're looking to sell some type of fake towards his B side and force rotations.
Looks like the crisscross smokes come out, plus 1 more up on top of the little shed. That allows them to get into vent with nice cover. And Hiko not hitting his shots as Ye's falling out of the vent, getting the headshot, trying to bait the op from Simple. They expect him in the B's site. Unfortunately, Ye still going to fall. Man advantage now for Liquid, and they're in a pretty good spot. They know that a lot of them have come through the vents. Now Nitro is just flanking them. He'll go down, but he spots it, grabs information as he tries to make the play, and even then boils into a one-on-one. So Noble traded very well when it got into a man disadvantaged, and Flash Step comes out with a 3K.
I can't believe Liquid just lost that round. I mean, Elish got kind of caught in the open, was able to take that second to last frag. Kusta's in a 1v1. He knows exactly where the last guy is, and he's posted on him. I'm shocked that he missed that shot.
Enemy Kusta would have missed that, right?
No, enemy Kusta hits that with a no-scope backwards, I think. I don't know
360 no-scope. And Nitro got super aggressive chasing in through the vents like that, and he only got 1 kill.
Well, this puts Liquid back in a situation where they have to save. They do have 3 guys stacked inside A, so that's going to be Nitro, Kusta, and Elige. One playing towards that forklift, and they're going for that boost for that spot, from that jump spot, actually, from the A site. Meanwhile, they're playing it very passively for Noble Esports, knowing the economy situation. They're trying to see if any members of Liquid are going to push it aggressively, but that is not going to be the case. Meanwhile, inside B, you do have a high-low stack, actually, inside B as well, with the duo, Simple and Hiko, just on the top of the default boxes, looking back towards B main. But looking at it so far from this minimap, we're looking to execute towards A on Noble's side. There's that boost, and they take Kusa down to 65, but Kusa still manages to get the kill onto Ye Elige as well, onto the blue door. So the bomb is already down, so the quick rotation is going to come through, and Simple is also going for the huge flank from T-Spawn. So there are 3 guys on T side pushing through. Another one coming in, and they're about to go for another Eco Cobra, and indeed they do. As that actually strat just fell into shambles right now for the T side. And there you go, the clap and the hiss.
Hiss.
I feel like I'm watching NACSGO.
That is standard. Yes, indeed, you are.
Yeah,
You're
they didn't really clear the site. They saw Kusta boosted, so they immediately know there's 2 there. They get picked. I mean, it's common to give that first kill when somebody's playing that angle. They didn't really molly the things out, and they kind of full committed to the site. There's people hiding in smokes. They didn't clear angles. Everybody was watching the same thing, and that just collapsed real quick.
This is ridiculous. Team Liquid, both times they pull out the double ops, not successful. And then they get into a full-on eco round. I guess in the first one, Simple had Deagle and armor, but everyone else without it. And in that one, full P250 no armor, and they win both of them. Like, Noble should be winning this by 3 or 4 rounds, but instead are trailing by 2. Okay, maybe
now they have
by
the
2.
advantage as well for Liquid, because they, I was going to say, they do have an no ops in the hands of Noble, and Ye still manages to get the entry at midside onto Kusta. He spots Nitro as well on the catwalk box, and Nitro's going to fall back up highway inside A. But that's already an early 1-minute advantage. Simple's with the op rotated across. Saw one just actually behind that white box. Misses the shot, so now he gives his position away. Pre-fire coming through. He survives with 1 HP after headshotting flash step. But a nade is just going to take him down, but Char has it. He's so far behind. He's actually still lurking towards B side, and Simple rotates back actually towards B as well. So the rest of the guys at Noble going to keep it very calm, still towards that mid side, but they're going to count on Char to try to get an opener here.
Really surprised Simple's even able to get out of there. There was a bit of a gap in the smoke, but he just pulls out his knife, looks at them for a bit, gets the confidence to jump out, and is able to survive and fight another day, missing that shot there onto, I think it might have been Virtus who was running out first. Someone still got to peek this. Hiko comes out, another, is that the second TK from Virtus? Definitely the second one for Noble. I don't know if he's the same one that had pulled out the TK on the pistol.
Imagine if Simple was dead. I mean, they would have been able to take that B-bomb site quite easily. 99 damage, but an op kill, son.
Oh my goodness.
I like it.
And
as another round, Ye hit a beautiful shot on Kusta, like a 1-click. Dropped him immediately. Again, Noble's doing a really good job getting these early picks, but then they're falling apart in that mid to late round. They're trying to take B against an op, and they have no smokes left. And they just kind of like stood in front of each other. Nobody cleared close to the left at the little missiles in the site. Hiko got one and got an assist on the other in the TK.
Well, it looks like it's going to be the save round this time in the side of Noble. And can they get actually an Eco Curb on their side? I doubt it, because they're actually forcing our jump inside the site. Nitro just spamming across, gets a trip kill. At least they get the 2 kills, and they'll be able to get a bump. Nope, maybe not, because Flash Step actually burned to death, moving towards quad, and that's it. So that's going to be 9-5. Moving into the last round of the first half, and there's nothing more you could actually add to that. Or can you, Ryu?
I just want to point out, for the sake of Twitch chat, that Josh BM got a kill with a Glock.
Hey.
And Josh BM's actually had a really good game, but I think Ye's the one that's been getting some of these really impressive entry frags.
Char was getting a lot earlier as well. He seemed like he was winning out the little dance-off in B main almost every single round early on. And here into another Molotov over the boost. Smoke at middle. Liquid taking that control. That'll be Kusta as well as Nitro. And now actually Kusta pulls off, and even he is sliding over to the B site. So big presence on B. Set up for a retake, if you will, on A with just Elige playing in sight. And of course Nitro able to rotate up highway as Noble Esports are coming over boost and dropping into mid.
Yep, 2 already boosted up. 1 guy about to peek through. It's actually going to be a triple peek, but only Ye needed there for that entry. So he plays his part one more time. They smoke out towards Z. They actually leave that B side open. So that's going to be an opener for Char to try to lurk in and go 1 versus 1 against Hiko inside B. They're also moving inside the vent as well. So Char actually has to move a lot faster than this if they want to. But as they actually make their way inside vents, the bomb is actually walking back towards B. And also on the A side, Elish is actually pushed out all the way towards A main. And actually, Josh, I don't think they ever saw him. So he's still looking. Okay, he's actually looking for a better angle, but has no idea that Elish is still actually looking there. Elish is about to peek out. But he still loses that fight. Elish takes the upper hand, and the bomb's already close there at the same time.
And I suppose they're trying to sell a fake. Kind of hard to exactly see what Noble wanted to do. They had the bulk of their forces over at B with just 2 into A main. That included Virtus with the bomb. Then they started attacking at the B site. Everything fell apart, and now you're just left with Virtus. He's got to try to pick up the pieces, but there's a lot of pieces, and he does not have a lot of HP. He's going to go in for the plant. Or I guess not. Why plant on the last round? You don't need the money. He's got to play for the win here. Eventually will need to plant it if they're going to let him stay alive. But no, as he tries to get back to the default plant, Simple gets him around the corner. It's a 10-5 half in favor of Liquid, but honestly, I don't want to say lucky because there were some misplays when Noble were going up against those full pistol rounds, but Team Liquid, fortunate? I don't know. They're lucky to have 10 rounds.
Liquid lucky to have 10 rounds?
This should be an 8-7, I think. This should be an 8-7, maybe more in favor of Noble. Again, like that was another example of how that entire half played out. Ye steps out mid, hits a really nice shot, drops Nitro immediately, and then the mid to late round just is a complete falls into shambles real quick.
Yeah,
and they go up 5v4 and do almost nothing with it.
I still don't think Liquid was lucky there. I mean, it's 2 ecos that they won. It was actually bad plays from Noble Esports side too.
That's why I didn't want to say lucky, but I don't know. Yeah. I can't pick a better word. We need Henry G. For the
if it wasn't NACS, it would have been an 8-7 half for Noble.
I think that's fair. I mean, Noble won such key rifle rounds and then lost to P250s 2 times.
Yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, it was also back and forth. I think Kusta had that one round with the NA fake flash that the pistol didn't go in, so it was kind of a little bit of sloppy CS, I think, overall, and 10-5 is the result in favor of Liquid.
All right, so let's see what happens now on the second half as we do have Liquid on T side. They are boosting up towards mid as well, but it's just going to stay slow for now. They do have a double peek that they can execute towards mid side to go for a pop flash for them to execute there. They actually spawn one towards Z, and that's going to be Ye. They break the vents, flash up his... Oh, it's going to be a mid to B split at the same time. He still manages to get the bomb carrier before he falls. Char's inside that side. That's going to fully blind Simple. Drops the bomb carrier again, and gets a second one after Kusa. Trying to go for a third one as Elysian's half blind. Furnace drops down to support him. Just like that, it's a 3 versus 1. He goes by himself with a Glock, and he does have small armor to try to lurk back from Z side. And meanwhile, you do have actually Josh BM playing back towards Tree, so he is spawning towards Z. And Hiko is going to try to clutch this here.
This is Hiko and Hiko's environment. This is the habitat for Hiko. It's slow. He's got a minute on the clock. He knows where they're going to be because the bomb is down. He's just going to work picks. He's going to try to find these 1v1s. And there's a really good chance he wins this round.
Spots the first one here, but loses it, unfortunately.
So that was Caster's curse to the extreme right there.
Welcome to the Caster's curse, Ryu.
It's fun.
And actually, no single damage actually implemented onto Josh BM.
Yeah, I think he saw the tip of the silencer, did a really good job, just disciplined Hiko, watching, clearing all of his angles, and then just decided to clip that box. A little unfortunate there. But a round that Noble really needed.
That could have
gotten
gotten very scary.
To take away. Char did a really nice job. He had a couple really nice shots with the USP there to hold that site.
Char was left low, though, and then if he did get that kill on the Josh BM, that was going to open up the round. Unfortunately, you cursed it. Now, Team Liquid back to the drawing board with this T-side force-up, Tech 9s. Actually, a Glock still on Kusta because, of course, he'll want to pull out the op. And he's even going to go first. He was just going to be cannon fodder, and he will be. Josh BM takes him down here from Highway and will back off, making sure there was no late mid approach from Team Liquid, but there was not. Everyone's out of the site, and they even get the bomb down. No way they do this on the T side as well. Elige boosted up, but none of those guns very accurate. It's Simple with the Deagle that you got to watch out for, and Virtus will take him down. Simple was hiding out behind Forklift. Now 4 on 3. Noble with the man up. Famas spray there from Virtus. Doesn't get a kill. Does put in some damage, and now it's just up to Josh BM. He got the first kill of the round. He's got to get the last 2 as well. Elige can just dance around quad all day. He can dance all day and running out of ammunition. That's the M4A1S for you. Elige with the triple kill, and Team Liquid, how are they doing this?
They got that site almost entirely uncontested.
Yeah.
A lot of the utility got thrown away early, didn't do too much damage. I think Flash Step had an HE that was probably good for at least a kill if he had put it well placed at the quad. And
nobody was playing A actually, Ryu. Nobody was playing A.
Yeah, they were playing a retake. There was a guy spotting it from truck, but What was weird is Liquid ran door and then just ran out of the door. They didn't smoke highway first and pop flash like you usually see teams do. They just ran to the door and then ran out of the door.
Those things somehow work. Nonetheless, though, we're seeing Noble Esports back on a safe. Flash Step trying to play aggressively towards that B entrance with Char, both taken down by Simple with AK-47. Ye spots 2 right now. He's about to die here as Nitro is actually... Nitro's already inside B, so it's going to be him inside versus Elige. He loses it versus Elige's MAC-10 long range. So it's going to be a 5 versus 2 with Josh, BM, and Virtus, the last 2 remaining, still inside A. They will definitely try to move out towards A and get some kills. And it's Elige trying to go on a hunt, trying to add some more money to the bank. But he's actually going to lose that fight from both Virtus and Josh, BM. But they bait out the other guys from the T-spawn and mid, or CT spawn and mid. They both die, and it's going to be 12-6.
Yeah, not really too much to say there. I think only one time I can think of in recent memory did a full USP save turn into a USP ace clutch, and I feel like it would be shameless to name the player of the team, so we'll just leave it with that.
They must have played a lot of USP ninjas. 12-6, Liquid leading pretty convincingly on the scoreboard there. Nitro and Kusta still going to keep the MAC-10s and look to farm up some more money. Make the ops that much more obtainable. No one's gone down yet. Simple status of damage. Yay. Also, Elige with mid control. Bomb out here as well, and that's actually Nitro with the bomb moving up. And they're going to go up highway. Man with the Molotov we saw was Kusta, ready to throw that, looks like quad. Virtus still hiding out on fence. Yeah, at the E-box. He's going to be taken down. They realize Josh BM is here at the trucks. Heard his deagle. Elige takes him out. And now just Flash Step and Char making their way over from B. It looks like they've got to middle. Char in that Z connector. Kusta going to move forward. Not actually looking the right way and will lose out. Elige on the catwalk and Nitro closes it with a $600 frag. It's now 13-6.
It's a huge round. I'm curious to see if we're going to see a T-side op. Yep, we see the op come up on Kusta. It was interesting. Simple looked like he's been the guy that's towards B. I don't know if they're going to use him as the guy that works B or that lurks B, but it seems like that's kind of what they've been setting him up for. And we'll see where Kusta takes this op to open this round.
The advantage for Noble Esports is that they finally have saved up enough to go for a full arsenal of M4s and an AWP in the hands of Virtus as well. Not many nades to work with, though, in the hands of Ye and Virtus, so not a lot to counter, actually, towards B, and this seems to be where that heavy push is coming from T-Sign. So you do have Char pushed all the way out towards B main. He's about to peek out, about to catch Nitro with a nade in his hands, but Nitro actually spots him out as well, so that's just a missed timing there. Shoulder to shoulder, Nitro spots him first. He's going to lurk around and get the kill. Here comes the Molly to actually force Flash Step. He's burning all over the place, and you don't luckily burn to death. You just get headshotted by Nitro. Yeah, he was dancing. It was hot, hot, hot. As Josh BM now and Virtus, last 2 remaining for Noble Esports on a 5 versus 2. What a take right now on Liquid side inside B, but again, also unfortunate how Char played it outside B main. So the last 2 guys will try to fall back, save their guns as the bomb is planted here. And can they save it? So far, you don't really see Liquid going out on a hunt.
I guess Flash Step didn't realize there was one at the wood box because he went over and stood in that one even longer. And I think the one that hit him landed on sight. So I think the better play was to just drop to the headshot ledge. But not wanting to give up the sight, I guess he tries to move around, gets caught in the open on 7 HP after burning alive for most of it. Virtus has now been spotted hiding out behind the kidnap van and CT spawn. He actually holds that angle and Elige comes into the shot. That's funny. Josh PM though survives. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, usually when you get surrounded by mollies, you just need to take a fight. You need to do something before you either burn to death or or they come for you. And so in that situation, yeah, I mean, you can't hold the sight, right? If you're gonna die by the molly, you need to at least take somebody with you. And I've also never heard it called the kidnap van. I feel like that's both hilarious and creepy.
There's one on Mirage as well.
Actually, what Helium Umbrella does is he goes into every operation map and looks for a kidnap van every single time and just waits for the right moment to call it.
That's a nice van. I haven't played really any of the new maps. Obviously Santorini, because that map's awesome.
Oh,
look at the boost!
Oh,
Simple!
Simple! Welcome to North America. Comes back, spots another one here. It's going to be Char. Headshots him as well. B-side is almost open, but Ye's there with the scout to drop him down. But it's already a 4 versus 2 situation. We got a 4 versus 1 as Josh BM also dies. So Ye is now going to be the last man standing with that AK-47 picking it up right after from Simple. But now they're working inside this A bomb site. They will get a plant. And that is going to be it. I don't think Ye will try to get anything done. Even at this point, they have no money to work with. Even with the bonus money, he should try to save this AK-47, but looks like he's just going to try to move up and get a few exits. Don't know if this is the right move to do, but he's about to get caught there. Spotted by Hiko. Elise catches a leash off guard and tries to go for that kill there, but flanked by Nitro. So now it's going to be map point for Liquid, 15-6.
I think this is probably we're going to see a 16-6. This will probably get closed out here in this round. Yeah, I was thinking on the first half that if Noble was able to take like 10 or 11, that they'd have a chance. But I think just the overwhelming talent that is on paper for Team Liquid is going to produce these ridiculously strong T sides. Any one of their players can open up a site at any time, and we saw simple that round. Just walk in, hit a nice one tap on the guy's boosted, and then just ran in and finished the other guy off on the site.
Yeah, and Team Liquid's T-side on cash is actually very, very good. In the 7 games they've played, they're actually 3-4, so they've lost more than they've won, but they get 54% of the rounds on T-side, only 37 on the CT. And as to the opponents that they have played, well, quite a few. A lot of NA ones recently, Tempo, Storm, Complexity, Dogmen, losing to Fnatic, beating Conquest. So they are playing, top-tier NA and even top-tier among the world, so... Strong T-side indeed, as Hiko will fall. Noble Esports want to prove Ryu wrong.
Well, they're moving inside B as well. Char's actually run through the smoke, and hello! Eat a few bullets, you die, and Ryu is going to be right so far, actually. It's a 4 versus 2. Elise trying to get a bomb plant now for B main. Josh BM is already on the top of Heaven. He does have Virtus right behind him, only with the Deagle to work with. Finally, they managed to take down Elise, but the bomb has been planted, so he did his part to set up right now Liquid in better positioning after this plant. So Nitro's just under Heaven. Simple. All you hear are one-taps. All you hear are headshots. And finally, it's retaliated back by Josh BM, who gets a double of himself. Now it's a 1 versus 1, but he does not have a kit, no nades to work with, so he's just going to have to body peek. And as he drops down, hello! Nitro's out in the open, gets that final kill, and Liquid dominates Noble Esports on their map pick, 16-6.
The first half was definitely some pretty sloppy stuff. I think we saw a pistol round win, and then we saw the eco come out in the favor of Team Liquid, and they just kind of ran with it from there. It's actually funny. I left Voice Enable 1, and after Kusta and whoever the other player was in B main double peeked that, and both got killed by Josh BM, Kusta goes, "Ah, crap, I threw." Yeah, and then Josh BM actually played really, really well. I know statistically he was the top fragger. I thought it was Ye and Char that seemed to T side to be really doing a lot of damage, opening up the sites. But Josh BM seemed to win almost every single gun duel that he took. Shot looked really, really clean. He'll need that to carry over to this map if they want to force this to go to train.
You're spot on with Ye, though. He had 7 first kills this match, more than anybody else, way more than anyone on his team. Flash Up was the next with 2. And then Team Liquid, they had Simple with 4, Nitro with 3. So Ye had as many as Simple and Nitro combined. So yeah, he was hitting some very impact frags.
Let's talk about a little bit about Kusta here, Rio. You're mentioning how Kusta said, yeah, I threw. So Kusta, in terms of a person, do you think he's somewhat somebody that is able to handle the pressure, playing on a, I guess, higher profile team like Team Liquid, getting a lot more exposure than he kind of did with Enemy? Is he the type of player that could maintain his cool?
Yeah, I've always found that when the pressure is on, that's when Kusta generally tends to play his best. There's a term that John Wooden, the UCLA coach, 10-time NCAA basketball champion, uses to describe players like that are at their best when the best is needed, and they call it competitive greatness. And that's a huge. I think we saw it at the minor event. Kusta had a pretty decent event all the way through the finals, and then when we needed him in the finals, he went like plus 70 something. Like, it was just obscene how good he was when it really, really counted and when we really needed it. So, yeah, I don't think there's too much nerves. I don't think the pressure is going to get to him. If anything, he might feel like maybe he needs to force this a little bit to, prove that they made the right decision in picking him up. Like that peak there at B-main on Cash. He doesn't really need to peak that. He knows he doesn't, and he recognized that when he said, "Oh crap, I threw," because he didn't need to peak that at all. But aside from that, I really don't think the pressure is going to get to him. He's very level-headed. Very, very smart guy and a pretty quiet guy, and emotions don't really get him too worked up.
And as you hear as well, Ryu, how did you actually hear and find somebody like Kusta?
So it's funny. It's been a couple years now. I was queuing up matchmaking with a couple friends, and we kept queuing up into the same 5 people. If you guys know Eric Bruner, he's a former professional soccer player for the Houston Dynamo in the MLS. And it was like his team. I don't know if they were in any leagues or whatever, but we queued into them several times in a row. And so we kind of became friendly with them. We started to actually queue up with them, play some pugs with them, and Kusta was with that group. And then over time, I started to play with Kusta and play pickup games. And it's like, what are you trying to do in this game? You're going to play competitive, that kind of thing. And he couldn't. His parents wouldn't let him because he was still, I think at the time, maybe a junior in high school or senior in high school.
Asian parents,
And,
I totally understand.
yeah, so they definitely had him a little bit on lock. He wasn't able to play in the season that I really wanted him to. Eventually, we were able to get him onto the team, and I think the rest is history.
So you found him in a matchmaking server.
Yeah, that's how I met Kenny.
That's actually quite awesome. And you were talking about a professional player in the MLS. Did he play with Holden as well? Stuart Holden? He also played for the Houston Dynamo, and he was like actually a 1.6 player back in the day with Forsaken.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a great question to ask. I can shoot him a text and ask him. That's pretty interesting. There's another 1.6 player or CS player at a high level that played professional soccer.
I think he made it into the EPL and then got a leg injury, and that kind of like busted his career. But Stuart Holden was actually one of the good fraggers in CS 1.6, but even better on the field playing soccer. Nonetheless, though, good storyline actually from where Kusta came from. So. You guys heard it here on CEVO TV. We're about to start this second map now on Dust 2. We do have 8 players connected, 4 actually readied up so far. We want to do a little bit of a breakdown of this map for these 2 teams before we actually see if we need a break. So Ryu, I'll let you start things off here with Liquid and Noble Esports on this map.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to double up, if we'll see Liquid break out the double up. It was completely ineffective on Cash for whatever reason. It's a bizarre set of rounds. Kusta was actually missing some shots that I'm really not accustomed to seeing him miss. I don't know, and I'm not going to throw shade at any particular mouse sponsor, but maybe he's using a different mouse and still kind of readjusting. I think T side, we're going to see Liquid really run away with this map. Curious, they seem to struggle a little bit on CT side. Ye was a really, really hardcore entry on Cash T side. I'm curious if he feels this map the way he seemed to be feeling, just basically running out mid on Cash and just one-clicking people, including ops. If he does, I think they should really use him, let him go up cat, let him fight the op. That's probably going to be playing in that game helper area. And we'll see. I know that this is a map that Virtus can occasionally go off on. We saw it at the minor with the however many frags you guys said, 30-something?
35, I think.
Yeah, so if his op is on and maybe Kusta or Simple, their op isn't, an op can definitely shift this map one way or the other.
Mind you that this was actually against Splice and not against Team Liquid today. So it might be a little bit more of a challenge, at least for Virtus this time, playing with Noble. But yeah, if he's on, it doesn't matter who's on the other side of the crosshair.
Yep, that's the power of the gun, right? So as long as the shot is on, it doesn't matter if it's Simple, Kusta, Virtus. If you're holding the op and the bullet lands, they'll go down.
So Joey, Helium, you actually have the head-to-head in terms of maps. Give us a little bit of a breakdown between Team Liquid and Noble Esports on Dust 2.
Yeah, again, this is just a lot of data from the seasons, kind of their history of whenever they've been in the CEVO seasons, not necessarily what's reflected so far in Season 9, since, of course, it's both these teams' first games. But, again, Liquid with the stronger T side on Dust 2, not too surprising. It looks like Noble's kind of broken 50-50. Also, with HLTV data over the last 3 months, 4 games for Team Liquid, they're 2-2. Getting 59% of the rounds on the T side, so again, it's better. But also, the CT side's not great, but it's certainly way better than what it was on Cash. They get about 47% of their rounds. Oh, sorry, 43% of their rounds on a CT side. And as for the competition that they've played, you've got Complexity, so another NA team that's kind of coming up since their roster changes, and that one was the most recent on February 11th. Dogmen, they actually lost to Dogmen on Dust 2, and that was way back in the Road to Vegas E-League qualifiers, losing to Na'Vi at IEM San Jose, and that's pretty much all they've got. Beating, actually, Enemy 16-5 in ESEA. I think that was the online season.
Yeah, you mentioned Complexity. So Complexity's in this bracket as well. If you guys are just tuned in, this is actually season number 9 of Pro League here at CEVO. It is best out of 3 brackets, single elimination. We have 16 teams invited in this first round of qualifiers. How basically it's run down is you move up to the grand finals. That's going to end in the first week of March, and whoever wins this bracket will get the first seed for North America. You rinse and repeat 3 more times, and you determine your 4 teams that will represent NA and compete in the grand finals, the LAN finals for Season 9 Pro League in London, England at the Gfinity Arena. Same thing is happening on the EU side, so you'll end up with top 4 NA, top 4 EU going head-to-head, where NA will lose every single match, and then it'll be just top 4 EU going to the finals. Unless